So Chris Brown finally wins a Grammy after about 13 years. He won Best R&B Album with his 1111 Deluxe, and I knew he was going to win it. That album is amazing, trust me when I tell you. And it's crazy how Chris Brown has had successful songs, hits, and moments, and he only has 2 Grammys to his name. An artist at that caliber, you would expect him to have, a plethora of Grammys. And in my opinion, I feel like this Grammy is his most important one. And some would argue that his Fame album that he won a Grammy in 2012 was his most important one because, a couple years before that, the whole Rihanna situation, he lost deals, brands, all of that. He was pretty much canceled, but he overcame that with a strong comeback album. The album Fame is Chris Brown's, in my opinion, it was Chris Brown's do or die album. If that album wasn't successful, I don't know where Chris Brown would be. That album definitely helped him. He had hits like Beautiful People, She Ain't You, No BS, Look at Me Now, which actually went diamond recently. So yeah, that album is still in rotation till this day. And as years would go by, Chris Brown would be on a feature run. He would be on multiple people's songs and dropping successful hits and good albums. But, there was people still bringing up the past. They would still bring up the whole Rihanna situation and even the toxic relationship with Karrueche. They even had their ups and downs. And to say that Chris Brown had some toxic relationships is kind of an understatement. But as Chris Brown continued to grow and tried to move on from the situation and learn from his mistakes, people would just continue to bring up the past. The roar started to become louder and louder and louder, and people started to be more vocal. Even after Chris Brown went to jail, apologized for his past and everything like that, it didn't really matter because people already made their decisions. And till this day, Chris Brown hasn't performed at an award show since 2017. The 2017 BET Awards was the last time you saw Chris Brown perform at an award show. You can definitely say the roars were loud enough to the point where award shows and public events were listening. They just decided not to invite him anymore, despite him apologizing and growing as a person and all that. And there were other events that would invite Chris Brown, just like that Ruffles event. They invited Chris Brown to come, but then they canceled last minute. And he was supposed to perform and do a tribute for Michael Jackson once again, because Chris Brown is the closest person to perfect Michael's moves. That's no question. However you feel about Chris Brown, that's perfectly fine. You can have your opinions and things like that, how he is as a person and stuff like that, his past, whatever. But you can't deny that man's talent. He worked so hard on that rehearsal and posted it on his Instagram, and then they just canceled it last minute and said, no, we're not going to bring Chris Brown anymore because of, his past and things like that. So it was kind of a slap in the face, because why invite him to perform a tribute for Michael Jackson, which he's done before, and cancel the performance last minute because of his past? That doesn't make any sense. Like, why invite him in the first place if you're gonna do that? So Chris Brown pretty much said, if you guys aren't gonna accept me, if you guys are gonna keep playing on my name like this, I'm just gonna continue to go on tour, which they're all successful. I'm gonna keep feeding the fans with music, albums, all of that. And I'm gonna start my own Super Bowl like event, because the Super Bowl isn't gonna invite me, so I'll just do it on my own. And that's what he did. And he titled it the Breezy Bowl. And guess what? The Breezy Bowl was sold out twice. He performed 2 sold-out concerts at the FNB Stadium in Johannesburg, South Africa. That Breezy Bowl drew a record-breaking crowd of over 92,000 fans. 92,000 fans. That's insane. The Super Bowl holds about 60 to 70K plus people, like in terms of capacity and stuff like that, but selling out a 92,000 capacity stadium twice and days apart too just goes to show you that Chris Brown is still loved and still influential and still inspires people. And this man is a generational talent. You can't ignore that. And that's why I feel like his recent Grammy win is his most important, because he hasn't won a Grammy in 10 years plus. He's been canceled on events. He hasn't performed at awards since 2017. Just continued to reinvent himself and try to grow as much as possible and continue to drop music, letting it speak for itself despite all the people wanting him to go away, and still end up being successful in the end by winning that Grammy. That's why I feel like that Grammy is his most important, because he just let the music speak, you know?
Good morning. Long time no see. I was finna ask, how many of y'all went to that Chris Brown concert? None of us got to go. It was in Africa. It was sold out. The nigga, we told him to keep it up. The nigga took it extremely serious. The nigga flew from the stage to the parking lot. When he came back, he had one of them little hot dogs the Spanish ladies be making on a grill on a corner.
And Chris is a definition of a workhorse and a guy with longevity, generational talent, and this man is no one-trick pony either. Because I'm not gonna lie, it was looking kind of predictable, because each time Chris Brown, submits an album or song or whatever the case is, it never wins. So a lot of people were saying, yeah, we still have faith, but he's probably not gonna win it because he gets snubbed all the time. But he ended up winning it, and I called it too. I think I'm 2 for 2 when it comes to calling, winners for Grammys. I called the Kendrick one. I called it that he was gonna win all 5 of the awards, and for Chris, I knew he was going to win this year. And yeah, I'm gonna show you the tweet right there. I'm gonna put it on the screen. But yeah, y'all should definitely follow me on Twitter, by the way, or X. Shameless plug. I do talk about music and things of that nature, and talk about predictions, just random music stuff I talk about. So if you like stuff like that, definitely follow me on X. And this Grammy win for Chris, I feel like it's gonna open some doors, because if they're willing to finally give Chris his credit now and give him the Grammy and all that, who knows, maybe they might give him the Super Bowl. I don't know. Maybe that's just me reaching, but if they give him the Super Bowl, that would be amazing, because the Grammys was looking impossible for him to win, because come on, a decade plus not winning, people bringing up the past, and then these award shows and these higher ups were listening and just letting them not win. I don't know, but with him getting this award, it could be possible he might be able to possibly perform at the Super Bowl one day. They might accept him. I don't know. Maybe that's a reach, but that's just me dreaming, because this guy is a hell of an entertainer, and he would break records, to be honest. He's no stranger to breaking records. He has the hits. He has the talent. He has the look. He has the catalog. He has the hits. So it only makes sense for him to perform at the Super Bowl. Like, why not? Just do it. But I don't know. That's just me as a fan thinking out loud, but I don't know. I think he should. It only makes sense. Like, why not? Even if it's just once, like, he should perform at the Super Bowl. That talent is undeniable. And I'm glad Residuals is getting the love that it's getting, because that song was part of the Deluxe of Chris Brown's 11/11 album, and it's getting such a crazy treatment. People are loving it. It's as if it was intended for a single, which it wasn't. But it organically just grew and people fell in love with it. That's what I love about Chris Brown's Deluxes, because this is the second time this happened, because when he dropped his Indigo Deluxe, the song Under the Influence became a hit, and it wasn't intended to be a hit, but it started trending on TikTok, and the people picked the song all organically, and that just shows Chris Brown's longevity and dedicated fan base on top of it. But yeah, if you're not a fan of Chris Brown and don't accept his apology and things that he did in the past, then that's perfectly fine. There's no arguing there. That's fine. You could feel how you feel. But for some people to say that this man isn't talented because of his past and trying to pretend like he doesn't exist, like, there's just no arguing with those type of people. Y'all got it. I give that to y'all. You know what? Y'all got it. I'm not even going to say anything, but I don't know. It is what it is. And most people that feel that way are usually like stan bases, like super duper fan bases of other artists. So, there's no arguing there. They got it.
They don't want to open the doors, and I can't sit there and be mad at them or be like, man, my career. I just have to focus on the people that do matter and do count, and then just focus on that. At the end of the day, if I go around trying to please everybody that doesn't like me, then I'm not being true to myself. And I think people as a whole, in general, try to do that on a day-to-day. They try to get the nice cars. They try to do stuff so they can feel appreciated or accepted by people. And you know, once you realize that some people just aren't going to accept you, you just have to face it and live your life, and then, you know, cherish the people who do care.
So if you got to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new and enjoy videos like this. Give this video a thumbs up. It would help me out so much. Comment down below anything Chris Brown related, you know, his Grammys, his first one, his second one. Do you think he's going to get more? Do you think he's going to perform at the Super Bowl? I don't know. Just comment anything down below. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm out.